You ever scroll through your feed and just wonder, how? How does one video get 1,000 views while another gets 10 million? It can feel like random luck, like catching lightning in a bottle. But what if I told you it's not luck at all? There's actually a playbook, a deliberate, repeatable formula. Today, we're going to tear it down and look at the anatomy of a viral video.
So, let's just get right to it. The big question on every creator's mind. What is the actual secret to going viral? You might think the answer is just, make great content. But it's so much more tactical, so much more engineered than that. And we're about to break down the entire strategy step by step.
Okay, here's our game plan for today. We're starting with the big picture, the viral video formula. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, mastering those first 45 seconds, which are absolutely crucial. We'll look at the surprising power of the pause, how to engineer engagement, and wrap it all up with the urgency advantage.
All right, first up, the viral video formula. The most important thing to get in your head is this. Going viral is not an accident. It's about executing a very specific strategy that's built from the ground up to play nice with the algorithms that run these platforms.
So, what does this formula actually look like? Well, it really boils down to 4 key parts that all work together. You've got the hook to grab them, the pause to keep them, a technique for engagement to signal the algorithm, and it's all supercharged by perfect timing.
Let's dive into the most critical part of this whole thing, mastering those first 45 seconds. And I'm not exaggerating here. This is your one and only shot. Everything else we talk about today depends on you nailing this one moment.
The source material for this explainer puts it pretty bluntly, because it's just plain true. The hook is everything. This is the moment a viewer decides, usually in a split second, if they're going to stick around or just keep on scrolling. And just how long do you have to land this all-important hook? 45 seconds. That's it. From the second your video starts, a clock is ticking. You have less than a minute to prove that what you have to say is worth someone's time. No pressure, right?
So how do you actually do it? This isn't just about what you say. It's a full-on performance. The playbook is super specific here. You need to deliver those opening lines with maximum intensity. Don't sit down, stand up. It projects way more energy. Speak fast. Not so fast that people can't understand you, but fast enough to create this sense of urgency, this authority. And maybe most important of all, look straight down the barrel of the lens. Make that connection.
Okay, now once you've grabbed them with all that high-octane energy, the next move is going to feel, well, completely wrong. But trust me on this. Welcome to the power of the pause. This is a fascinating trick where you use silence to actually boost your engagement.
Let me set the scene for you. Imagine you're explaining something, and you're about to drop a really shocking number. You lean in and you say, that one tiny mistake could end up costing you $2,500.
And then you just stop. You let that number hang in the air. Total silence. That dead air, it creates this tension. It gives the number weight. It makes it feel so much more important.
And believe it or not, there's a very specific technical reason for doing this. It's called the rewind effect. That moment of silence makes a viewer's brain go, wait, hold on, what did he just say? So what do? They scrub back a few seconds to hear it again. And that simple action, a rewind, is a massive signal to the algorithm that your content is so good, people are literally watching it twice.
Okay, so you've hooked them. You've even tricked them into rewinding. The next layer here is what we call engineering viewer engagement. This is all about actively poking the algorithm and telling it to show your video to more and more people.
The key is often asking a very strategic question, usually at the end. Not just some lazy, what do you guys think? No, it has to be something more personal, something that's easy to answer. For instance, something like this. Which move will you make first?
See how that works? It's a simple question that invites a quick, personal opinion. It lowers the bar for someone to comment. And the result? You get a flood of replies. All of those comments, especially in the first 24 hours, are like rocket fuel. It's a huge signal to the algorithm that people are invested, and that pushes your video out to a much wider audience.
So we have the hook, we have the pause, we have the engagement, but there is one final ingredient that can amplify everything else we've talked about, and that is the urgency advantage. This is all about why timing really is everything.
Just take a look at this advice pulled straight from the source. It doesn't just say, make a video about tariffs. It says, film this week. Why? Because the news is breaking right now. The conversation is already happening. You're tapping into an existing current of attention.
And that's really the bottom line here. A perfect formula is an amazing thing. But that same formula, when you apply it to a topic that is timely and relevant, it's pretty much unstoppable. It gives your video this natural tailwind the second you hit that publish button.
Which brings us to a final thought, doesn't it? After seeing how you can systematically build a video for virality with specific hooks, calculated pauses, and strategic questions, it really makes you wonder, in this age of the algorithm, is the best content simply made from a spark of creativity, or is it meticulously engineered for success?